Hey guys, Jill here from Ask a Vet Tech. Today we're going to talk about chickens and we're going to talk about molting. This girl right here has already went through her complete molting cycle, and as you can see, her feathers, she's real upset. She does not like to be manhandled. Her feathers are perfect and shiny and supple, and they're going to keep her nice and warm for winter. She has a full body of feathers, so everything's back covered again, and she's ready for winter. So I've been asked a lot, why do chickens molt? The reason is, it is their natural life cycle. They molt to get rid of old and broken feathers that do not serve them so well anymore. They are thin, they're weak, and they're not going to keep them protected from the cold, the rain, the wind, and the awful word we have to say, snow. So to stay protected and be warm throughout winter, they need to be able to fluff up and get air underneath of these feathers. If they're holey and not vibrant and thick like this, then they will be cold all winter. So feathers over time become broken, dull, brittle. They lose some in some spots, just as being a chicken. So, excuse us. Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. So in order to regrow these feathers, they usually wait until the fall time or autumn when the leaves start to fall, it starts to get a little chilly. Egg production slows way down because of the light. They need 12 to 18 hours of light a day in order to lay an egg. When do hens molt? Generally, they molt in the fall, as long as it's not a stress response. That is normal for them. It starts to get a little bit colder, you start to see your hens missing some feathers, and you're like, perfect timing, it's getting cold, why are you losing feathers now? That is their natural cycle. They lose almost all of their feathers, if not all of them. Oh, stop. Before winter. I want a little disclaimer here. If you had a broody hen and she raised up her chicks, she may molt right after she's done raising them because that's a really stressful time on her. How long will a molt take? It usually takes 1 to 3 months, roughly. It takes that amount of time because they need to switch over from the protein that they've been laying in your eggs. They switch that over to making feathers. The feathers are 80% protein, and so in order to grow them, they're going to need a lot of protein. Things you can do at this time are to supplement them with some... Stop. Hey, co-star. Stop. All right, gotta put her back. To lay these beautiful eggs, they need a lot of protein. Molting usually starts around the head and neck area. They lose all those feathers, then down to the breast, and then to the thighs, and then the tail feathers. Some chickens you might not notice molting at all, like just a little bit of here, a little bit of there, and they're done before you know it. And other chickens will blow their entire feather load in one day, and then they'll be naked until it grows back. That's the difference between a hard molt and a soft molt. So how do you care for a molting chicken? You're going to want to increase their protein. If they're normally eating like a layer mash or scratch grains or things like that, you're going to want to add in something higher protein. Black sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, those are great ones. And they're readily available. Oats are a good one. Some people feed cat food. Cat food is really high in protein, so you don't want to give that all the time, but it's a really good treat. Also, mealworms are a really good one. If your chickens are free range, bugs add protein, and also if you have an abundance of eggs, scramble some up and cook them back and give them to them. They will love that. As with any animal, water is super important, so make sure that they have readily available, fresh, clean water at all times, especially during their molt. The egg laying will stop. So if they are working on molting, they're not going to lay eggs because it takes a lot of protein from them to produce eggs or to produce feathers, and they can't do both at the same time. If you're still getting eggs in your coop, it's probably from a younger chicken that has not molted yet. Another problem that happens during the molt is chicken plucking. Another chicken will pluck or peck at its coop mate in order to just kind of help them along with the process. And sometimes that pecking or picking gets a little bit too aggressive. Those new feathers are called pin feathers, and they have a really rich blood supply to them. If the chicken is to peck the blood feather, make it bleed, then you open up for a whole bunch of problems. Some chickens will bleed just a little bit and it'll clot really quick and you'll be done with it. Other chickens will see the blood as an opportune time to pick on said chicken. So if you're noticing your chicken is got a big red patch where there's like blood and irritation, or everybody's picking on them, it's best to remove that chicken from the coop. Get them into a little area, get them a little hospital. If their feather area is still bleeding pretty bad, you could put some flour on it and hold some pressure. I do not recommend using blue coat or red coat at any time during keeping chickens. And unfortunately, if you weren't able to see this start and your chicken is ended up being a victim of being pecked to death, I'm really sorry. That just happens. Chickens do not care. They are a flock animal and they are worried about the health of everyone. And if you look like you're bleeding or dying, they're going to take you out. Just keep other predators away. Another question I get asked is, can I just stop them from molting? No, you can't. Even if you were to give them light all the time, eventually they will have to molt. It is how their body resets and continues a new egg cycle. During the molt is the best time to keep a really close eye on your flock. If you are noticing that any of your chickens are off food or are kind of withheld from everyone, it's good to just grab them and check them all over and make sure that they're doing okay. Maybe check and make sure that they're not struggling to lay that last egg. I have honeybees everywhere today. It's a beautiful day and I'm so glad to see them, but they're just literally everywhere around me today. There is such a thing as a stress molt, and that is where the chicken is under stress, such as dehydration, extended malnutrition, stress from the flock. A very dirty coop or parasites can cause that. Just remember that the chickens use this time to build up their nutrient reserves every year so that they can give you a bountiful amount of eggs. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something new today. Please share, subscribe, and give me a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. And remember, I'm here for you. You're here for your pets. Have a great day.